Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. We moved the show to Thursday to accommodate a special guest. And if you see a smile on my face, because I'm excited to have Jayme Orth back on the stream, we'll hit the intro and then I'm going to talk to you guys. This is fanspeak.com. We're going to give out our quarterback rankings, and then we're going to do a DraftKings draft. Man, I had woken up from a nap right before the show, but Jayme got me fired up talking NBA beforehand. But I said no NFL talk, so we're all this is all going to be new to us. Jayme, welcome back. How you doing today?
Good, fellas. Good, fellas. I know we've been chopping up for some NBA for a bit, but I'm excited to dive into these rankings to get a draft in. It's the best time of the year, man. I love when football season's approaching.
Yeah, Tyler, it was a lonely Tuesday for us as we moved the show till Thursday. How you been, buddy?
I've been good. I mean, was over in the Underdog streets getting some of those drafts done on Tuesday. Those contests are filling fast, Brad. I mean,
because okay, advantages of DraftKings. I always say the soft draft board, but the contest selection on Underdog, I mean, it's like 10 times better.
Yes.
Right? It's like good
Not
contest or crappy opponents. Which one do I want?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, they opened those contests on 4th of July, and the one was filled within, I believe, 2 days. So got to get the contest in over there fast.
Well, 4th of July is a pretty big. I mean, there's nothing better than just ripping drafts while the fireworks are going off, right?
Yep. Like, that's definitely the way to go. But I'm ready to do another DraftKings draft. I've been doing those qualifying drafts for the King of the Desert qualifying tickets, see if I can win one of those.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah.
Yep. But outside of that, I'm ready to get back into the big one, the $2 million the first. And then we got to do our quarterback ranks, because I know I got some names in here that are going to pick.
And that's what I was going to say. Do we have any news we need to discuss real quick before we dive right into the quarterback rankings?
I don't think there's been any NFL news.
I swear there was one thing.
I mean,
and I said we can talk about this.
TJ Watt's demanding $40 million a year after his decline, and they're already saying they're not giving it to him. So see how that goes.
Yeah. What was the other thing, Tyler? Remember in the chat, I was like, we can talk about this.
Here, I'll go back through and look real quick.
Yeah, go back through. I think we've been talking too much. It's in the main chat. Jayme, do you remember any recent NFL news, and what are your overall offseason thoughts? Did anything could shock you?
No, nothing really. And I'm excited to chop it up because I'm interested Tyler's take on getting Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. What do you thinks about that? You excited for that, Tyler?
Not really. I was a little bit when Pickens was still here, because it was like the offense will be good. You got 2 receivers, you should be able to move the ball. But then you get the quarterback and you get rid of the receiver. I didn't understand that. He's already making the comments like this is his final year.
Yeah.
And at this point, Jayme, he just needs to do what he's done to every other head coach he's played for in the league. Turn it into a dumpster fire. Get him out of there. Let's get some change.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But no, I don't think there's been too much move. I mean, I'm trying to think.
It's all contract holdouts right now. There's been no movement, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going through the chat to see what I said. Oh, this is so cool. We'll have something to talk about. I don't see it either. Okay, great. Let's just jump right into our QB.
Our guy Tim right here. I can't put it on the screen, but Tim says Tristan Wirfs, big deal not having him for Baker. He'll be out the first couple weeks. It's probably their best lineman.
That is a big deal. But he went down last year, and I was a little worried about them, and I remember the production didn't drop. So remember, with a lot of these things, if you're a great player but you have a great backup, it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're an average player but your backup is like a 59 on Madden, it really matters. So if I remember right, they had an okay backup last year. I don't even know if they have the same guy, so we'll have to look into that a little bit more. So for our quarterback rankings, I think all our top 5s are going to be, or top 4s are going to be pretty close. Jayme, haven't seen you a while. Let's start for you. Read off your top 4, and I'll let you know if mine are any different. To be fair, as long as it's the same 4 names, I'm not going to give you much argument.
Yeah. It's
Allen, Jackson. Okay, I'll take, I'm not, what? Who do you got? Top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Oh, guys, quick reminder, if you want all our official best ball rankings, of course, they're on fanspeak.com. This is just who you want on your team and from a betting perspective. And I know that you're like, oh, this is a best ball show. But, hey, there's plenty of best ball rankings. In fact, I would say that the rankings on the ADP are pretty accurate as far as fantasy. So we're having some more fun and just an exercise to get our brains warmed up because not only are we playing best ball, we're going to be betting the NFL this season.
And we're still doing the draft. So for the people that want to draft, don't leave. We're going to do the quarterback rankings, and then we'll get to draft, and we'll do one of those right afterwards.
And if the quarterback rankings starts to drag, guys, we'll start the draft and finish off the list. So, Jayme, top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Go.
Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow.
Oh, you put Lamar number 2, huh?
Yep.
I think you have to after last year.
I think so, but I wouldn't hate. I mean, if you have honestly, even if someone had Burrow at number 2, I wouldn't even be like, oh my God, right? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't either. Just my argument. I can't even say it's bad. My argument is just that his team's way better. It's probably why he looks a little better. I think Josh Allen's carrying a much worse team, and then of course that argument applies to Burrow as well. I went Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm locked in with Jayme. Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow.
Yeah, and like I said, it's hard to argue with those. So let's just keep it moving because now I think we can really start debating. Jayme, who do you have at number 5?
I got Justin Herbert.
Wow.
And,
really?
I do. I still think he's where I had last year at number 5. I still think, and again, I want to preface by saying, one, this has nothing to do with fantasy, but I'm looking obviously a little bit into last year, projections into this year, and I'm also trying to think of this as like all these guys are playing on a neutral team, right? There's some teams throw the ball more, some teams have better coaches, some teams have better skill position players. I'm trying to look at it as if everything was all created equal, what quarterbacks would I want? And I think that if you replaced Justin Herbert with maybe say Joe Burrow, I think Justin Herbert would have some of the numbers that Joe Burrow had last year. I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert's game. I knew this one would be a little bit of a hot take. This is what I had last year. This is my exact top 5 that I had last year. But I'm rolling with it again, man. I think I like Justin Herbert, man. I think he's a good quarterback.
All right, Tyler, who'd you bring in at number 5?
I don't think you can leave him out of the top 5 after he's been to the Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years and he's got a ring already on his finger with an MVP. So give me Jalen Hurts at number 5.
All right, we're agreed there. I moved Hurts up as well.
I think you have to. We agree on that. Like, you have to move him up after the way he's played. And you could argue that he hasn't thrown the ball well, but when you look at the stats, the dude doesn't have to throw the ball as much as some of these other quarterbacks does because he runs the ball well and he has a good running back behind him. So I'm putting him at 5.
All right. Jayme, where did you have Jalen Hurts and where did you have him last year? How much did you move him up after a Super Bowl winning season?
I think last year I had him like 8th. I have him 6th. So just right behind Herbert. Like I said, I'm not, if you told me, like you said, Herbert's maybe behind Hurts, I don't think it's a wild take or anything. I knew that my take there would be a little bit hotter with Herbert.
Where do you have Herbert on your list, Brad?
That's what I was about to say. I think that's how we'll do it. We'll use Jayme's as the basis of our conversation. I have him at 8, Tyler. Where do you have him?
12.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we'll do mine and then you guys can debate a little more. I'll be curious to see how shocked he is. So I went Hurts at 5, Stafford at 6, Jaden Daniels at 7, and Justin Herbert at 8. Jayme, what do you think about me putting Jaden Daniels up there? I mean, Stafford, you already know why I'm doing that, right? The longevity, the Super Bowl ring, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And then Jaden Daniels, though, kind of controversial. Only 1 year in the book, right? Only 1 season. But he did carry a team that I thought pretty mediocre.
Yeah. No, we have the exact same top 8. Obviously, the players are sprinkled a little differently. I have Daniels at 7, and I have Stafford at 8.
All right, so let's hear who Tyler has. Let's count there down to 12, and let's see who he's got ahead of Justin Herbert, because I can't wait to hear this.
My first 7 are exactly the same as your spread, and we differ from 8 on. At number 8,
let's hear it.
I'm taking Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
At number 9, give me
Baker
Brock
Mayfield
Purdy.
over Justin Herbert, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield showed me he could win in any system. At number 9, give me the guy who showed us he could work with nothing because his whole team was hurt this past year. Give me Brock Purdy. At number 10, give me the guy whose offensive line fell apart, CJ Stroud. And at number 11, give me Jordan Love before Herbert.
I know Jayme won't argue with that one. All right, bro, I'm in Northern California. You know, I want Brock Purdy to be so good. I don't know if we can put him ahead of Justin Herbert just off the ceilings.
Compare the stats.
Compare the systems.
Yeah, systems is much different.
You don't think Herbert would just rush under Shanahan?
I think Herbert threw like 3 interceptions.
I think Herbert was one of these guys that was labeled like the next coming of the great thing, and we're all still waiting on it, and it's never going to come.
I think it is. I think he was in a terrible
He's gotten so many passes for just being in like, oh, he's in bad situations. Oh, he lost that playoff game. Oh, he blew that huge lead in the playoffs. Oh, he threw 4 picks last year in the playoffs. I can't get behind that guy.
All right. Hot takes there for Justin Herbert. All right, Jayme, take it away. So we got you through 8. Who do you have at 9?
My guy, Jordan Love. That's an easy one for me. 10, I got Brock Purdy.
All right.
And then he went through 11? Should I go through 11?
I want to talk about your Jordan. Yeah. I want to talk about your Jordan Love pick real quick.
Okay.
Explain to us why you have him ahead of Baker.
I mean, if you look at almost, again, if we're looking at things like touchdowns, pass yards, those are not going to be good indicators for how good of a player is. A team that doesn't throw the ball a ton isn't going to have a lot of passing touchdowns, isn't going to have a lot of passing yards. But in his 2 years as a starter, he has been top 10 in a lot of key metrics I like. Last year, 2024, he was number 4th in net yards per attempt. He was number 5 in QBR. He was number 7 in adjusted EPA. In 2023, his first year as a starter, he was number 8 in net yards per attempt, number 9 in QBR, and number 6 in adjusted EPA per dropback. So I personally can't see how anyone actually keeps him out of the top 10, especially knowing the fact that the Packers wide receivers led the league in drop passes last year. I think he's pretty clear top 10 quarterback. Like I said, I have him at number 9. I still am not going to put him up, top 5 or top 6, top 7, but I think he could definitely trend that way. So that's my Jordan Love. What are your take on that spread?
That's a great argument. And my only defense would be, before you get too mad at me, I have all these guys at 9 through 13. If this was Madden, they'd all be like 89s. They'd all be the same ranking.
Can we all agree that like this group of Baker, Purdy, Stroud, Love, and Herbert are kind of grouped together like in this 8 to 12 range? Like I know Jayme has Herbert at 5, but like other than that, like these guys all kind of stick in.
Here's one that I want to throw in here, Tyler, that I put in that you left out. Jared Goff.
He's in the next range we're going to talk about. He's in the game manager ranges because Jared Goff is not a talent. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got a really good arm. But, like, you talk about CJ Stroud, for instance, like, he can move on his feet. He's got a laser of an arm. I think we could drop that guy in any system with any coach, and he can play good. I don't think you could do that with a guy like Jared Goff. He has to be in a good system with an elite play caller, and then he looks elite.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to argue through, but obviously we've only seen him with elite play callers, haven't we?
And one of them tossed him to the side and went and got a different guy and won a Super Bowl.
And to be fair, if you listen to his interviews, he does kind of regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? Where did you have Jared Goff, Jayme?
I got Jared Goff at 14th. So right in the middle of the pack. And so I do have CJ Stroud at 11. And Baker Mayfield.
See. So wait, you had Jordan Love at 9, right?
Yep. Purdy 10,
then
Stroud 11.
That's funny. So I think I have I have Stroud above Purdy. What do you guys think of that?
I don't hate it. And look, I think if I've been kind of on the record about my thoughts on Purdy. But last year I thought he played pretty well with a team that was pretty much decimated with injuries throughout the whole course of the year, and that did impress me. I'm actually pretty high on the 49ers again this year. So I think Purdy earned the right to be a top 10 guy. But if you have Stroud in there too, like I said, I have him 11 right next to Purdy.
Think everything that Tyler said about Goff, you could apply to Purdy.
No, I don't think so. I think last year proved you wrong right
Goff's
there.
got a way stronger arm.
All the guys got hurt last year. If all of Goff guys got hurt, he doesn't do anything, spread. The stats die.
Purdy actually didn't do too well when all those guys got hurt.
He still threw for 300 yards multiple times and had good games.
Yeah.
I don't think Goff does. If Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down, Laporta goes down,
Gibbs so if we switch Purdy and Goff, how many games would you improve Detroit by?
I'd
what would you move their win total?
1.5 to 2.
Really?
Yes.
Because now you're also adding right now.
Think about this, spread. Jared Goff is a potato behind the offensive line. He can't move. Now you're adding in a younger quarterback that has legs and can run. That's got to add on.
Has like half the arm strength though.
I don't know about that.
Oh, Purdy does not have nearly the arm that Jared Goff has.
I will just put.
I'd say arm strength. Purdy might be bottom 10.
I think you're crazy.
I don't think so. But also, if you just look at the last 2 years combined, 2023 and 2024, and among all quarterbacks, Brock Purdy ranks first in adjusted EPA per dropback. He also ranks first in success rate among all quarterbacks. Second is Josh Allen, and Jared Goff is fourth and third on that list. But when we're talking in between the two of Purdy and Goff, that is where I would side, and I'm very interested this year to see what Jared Goff's going to look like without Ben Johnson as well.
And without Frank Ragnow, because now he doesn't have one of the best centers with the best offensive line in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I keep talking about. It depends on who they have to replace him. Okay, so here's my final thing, right, on that, because I'll of course concede the stats to you, but let me just do this arm strength deal, right? I mean, Drake May's got a stronger arm. Kyler Murray's got a stronger arm. Gino's got a stronger arm. Darnold's got a stronger arm. Lawrence has a stronger arm. Rodgers has a stronger arm. Caleb's got a stronger arm. Even Daniel Jones has a stronger arm. Purdy does not have a good arm for an NFL level. He's totally getting by on guile, the ability to read the defense, making good decisions, and accuracy.
I mean, I don't think he has, probably a top 5 or top 10 arm, but I don't think he's like arm is bad by.
I think it's very similar to Baker Mayfield's arm. And if you're going to sit
here
and
fair.
Tell me,
I would put most of the guys that I just read off behind Baker on arm strength too. Right? I mean, you're not going to see Baker just every guy
you listed with more arm strength than him is a worse quarterback than him.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you got a cannon arm, but you can't read a defense.
I was going to say, what's up?
I said, cool, those guys got cannon arms like Daniel Jones in them, but they can't read a defense.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I was just going back to my Jared Goff thing and just saying, like, Goff can hang with the big boys on the arm. Okay, let's move on because you're right. Arm strength is probably like a completely like 80s overrated QB trait. All right, where were we, Jayme, on the list? And Tyler, we'll start the draft here in about 13 minutes.
I say we were at number 13. I say we go 13 to 16, and we'll see what our average quarterback in the NFL is.
I did. I'll say my 12th. So I did miss the 12th because I had Baker at 13th, and I know the 12th one's gonna be a hot take. I know you guys are probably gonna laugh at me, and I am a homer. I drafted this guy like every single year in fantasy. Trevor Lawrence.
No way.
I know. I'm projecting of going forward. Doug Peterson's a terrible coach. He's an absolute terrible coach. I think. Let's see. I mean, again, let's just remind ourselves what happened to Baker Mayfield before he got to Tampa Bay and played with Dave Canales and then Liam Cohen. He was got cut from the Browns, went to the Panthers, got cut from the Panthers, went to the Rams, and then he finally went to Tampa Bay, played with Dave Canales, who I think we all could agree is a good offensive
Baker
mind.
in Cleveland's better than anything we've seen from Trevor.
He had a good year. He had like one decent year, but then after that he fell off the face of the earth. Right, he was literally getting shipped to team in the middle of the season. I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot of upside. I think Trevor Lawrence paired with Liam
but that's
Cohen,
the only thing you can put on there. Like, go back to your little EPAs. Like, he's going to be terrible. He's going to be like in the 20s.
No, 100%. And again, like I said, a lot of this is going to be my rankings are based off of some of what we've seen last year, projection of going into this year, and what I think about
I like
players.
It. It's just who do you want on your team? That's how I would do it, right? Like, rank the order of the players I'd want. If I grab any quarterback in the league, I'm grabbing Mahomes first, right? I mean, that's how I did it to put on my favorite team. So
I think, and we have seen Trevor Lawrence the last couple of years has not been good. 3 years ago, he did have a decent year, a pretty solid year, to be honest, when they made the playoffs and he led that comeback against the Chargers, I think it was.
Yeah, against our guy Herbert, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot of upside. Again, like I said, I preface it by saying that I knew this was gonna be a hot take. I knew you guys would disagree.
Yeah, that's the hottest take we've had so far.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. But I think my hope is by week 8 next year we can come on and then we can reflect on these rankings that we did, and that's going to be something I'm hoping that people will say, "Wow, that was a good call. That was a good call."
Well, I like that you're looking ahead to the future, Tyler. Where did you have Trevor Lawrence, bro? I got him in the 20s.
21.
Bro, you're gonna hate this, Tyler. I got him right below Sam Darnold.
Oh my, that's terrible.
Do you want to play the guessing game on where I have Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold was an MVP candidate last year
with Kevin O'Connell. So you're doing the same thing about how a guy who was terrible was a backup, right? Was nothing with the Jets, got into a really good situation, and now you boosted him up higher. So what we can't think maybe the same thing's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think he's Justin Jefferson.
But Brian Thomas might be.
He might be.
But,
Jayme, Travis Hunter's number 2, and also Liam Cohen.
Now imagine telling the same guy who just argued that for Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, these guys, and you try and tell them all offseason, you're like waving them down. You're like, hey, them guys in Seattle aren't the same guys in Minnesota. This guy is not going to be the same guy. And he's like, nah, they'll be all right. And it's like, you're playing with fire.
He's the top. What was his fantasy ranking last year? Like QB4, QB5, and you're getting him at like QB19.
And guess who's going to be quarterback?
I'm not saying we should draft him
quarterback 5, quarterback 4 this year playing in Minnesota's offense.
JJ McCarthy?
No, he's not. Oh my gosh. There's no way. He's not even going to make it through half the season. You got to weigh more than 200 pounds to play in the NFL, dude. All right. Where were we at on our list?
I got through 13. I got through 13.
Yeah, 13 to 16.
Yeah, talk to me about this range, Jayme. Just read off 3 or 4. I don't think any are going to shock me like what you've already done.
No, definitely not. Baker, Goff, Kyler, Caleb. That's through 16.
Ooh, Caleb, pretty high there for Caleb.
Yeah, and to be fair, I have like most of the rookies of Caleb, Drake, and Bo just all like right next to each other, like 16, 17, and 18. That's just I think there's some upside there between them. I think getting Ben Johnson helps. I think their offensive line improved. Again, I'm a Packers fan, so I hope they fall flat on their face. But
I just hope Caleb doesn't end up like the aforementioned Sam Darnold and just a USC quarterback that can't get away from the interceptions. Tyler, how did you have this range go for you?
Me at 13, I had Dak because I think he is, even after injury, I think he's the best of the game managers in the NFL with the strongest arm. Then I have Goff. Then I have Caleb at 15.
Wow, and you guys are so much higher on Caleb than me. I think I have Caleb.
My thing about Caleb is when you looked at all these younger quarterbacks that are in this ranking and where you're going to get to them, the Calebs, the Bo Nix, the Drake Mays, the Bryce Youngs, and even the Cam Wards you can throw in right now. Which one has flashed the most potential to be like, okay, that guy could be a superstar? I think it's Caleb.
I'd agree with you too, but I mean,
I think it's close. Drake May.
May's close, but I don't like his situation as much as I like Caleb's.
I think I'd rather have Drake. If we're doing, I put Drake May ahead of Caleb personally.
I don't hate it,
Jayme. I put Drake May ahead of Kyler.
And I don't hate that. I had Kyler 15 and Drake May 17.
Who did you have at 16 for yours, Jayme? Like, who is your average quarterback in the NFL?
It was Caleb.
Okay,
Caleb at
mine's
16.
Mine's Gino. I have Gino at 16.
I
got
Kyler
Gino
at
22.
16.
Okay, Kyler at 16. I had Gino at 22, but that was one, honestly, I had him like 17, 18, and then I moved him back.
Let me hear who you got above Gino. So we know who you have through 16. Give me 17, 18, 19, 20, because I think I'm going to disagree with these.
Drake May, Bo Nix.
Okay, I agree.
Dak Prescott 19, Tua at 20, Rodgers 21.
The only one I'd argue at this point in their career, I got Gino ahead of Rodgers, but
yeah, and I have Gino 22. So yeah, I'm fine with that too.
yeah, like whoop-de-doo, like cool. All right, Tyler, kind of read your list there. We're actually making good time. I think we're gonna hit 3:00 even for the.
All right, so from 7, I'll go 17 to 25. At 17, I had to put some respect on Spread's guy's name. I got Bo Nix. At 18,
love to see it.
At 18, I put Kyler. At 19, I put Drake May. Well, here's my thing. My 19 to 23 range is basically all potential. These guys could move the most on this list to next year. 19 May, 20 Bryce, 21 Trevor Lawrence, 22 Penix, 23 Cam Ward. At 24, we'll give the 1-year rental of Aaron Rodgers. And at 25, give me concussion boy Tua.
You put Cam Ward ahead of Tua.
Yes.
What do you think of that, Jayme? I think that's pretty wild for a guy that, I don't know. I think 2 years ago, wasn't Tua top 5 in fantasy numbers at least?
If the wind blows too hard, he's going to have a concussion.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Like Hurricanes down there where he plays. Or anything. What's up, Jayme?
No, I said that's fair. I do have Tua higher, but I don't.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think
this range was tough. Like it's hard to. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to rank Tua, man. You know what I mean? Like last year was just such a disaster. He's right. He definitely is.
But think about how bad the team is when he's out. Like they can't even compete.
No, that's
when he's out, they're like 18-point dogs.
Yeah,
he can't be that bad.
You're right. He also has had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, which and Mike McDaniel this past year wasn't as good as maybe we thought he was.
Yeah, but he has like an idiot head coach. Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's tough. That mix is all close, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I got to give Spread my 26 and 27 before you go, Jayme, because this will fire him up. At 26, I wish I had a drum roll sound. JJ McCarthy. At 27, Sam Darnold.
We have the same two. We have the same two, 26.
You have Sam Darnold at 27.
Yes,
I do too.
Hey, consistent.
Why does EPA matter when it comes to Jordan Love, but it doesn't matter when it comes to Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold. We have 1 year sample size of Sam Darnold. I've listed the 2 years Jordan Love has played football. We have
0 years on Cam Ward, and Tyler put him ahead of him.
Well, that's just pure upside. He's the number 1 overall pick.
That's what I said. I said I'm putting these upside guys together. I'm not going to rank Cam Ward at 29.
How many years has Sam Darnold been in the league?
How
many years has Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield got drafted in the same draft, and so did Lamar Jackson.
And so we're just going to overvalue 1 year completely of Sam Darnold and be like, this guy's almost
because the idea is you're supposed to get better over your career. So if it's the most recent year, I think it's fair to do that.
But you don't just all of a sudden
get better. And we talk about bad situations. Like
you
were giving Trevor all these passes for bad situations. He played on the New York fucking Jets. Excuse my language, but it's the New York fucking Jets. They might be the only team as pathetic as the Browns. Now,
Spread, listen to what you're saying. We're talking about a guy who couldn't play in any system in the NFL, who just so happened to luck box into one of the best systems in the NFL with one of the best play callers.
Yeah, we'll see how that looks. I can't wait till week 8 when JJ McCarthy absolutely sucks.
And then he went to a team whose offensive line is terrible. He has 1 wide receiver because they traded the other one, and their running game is meh. Good luck with Sam Darnold in Seattle. He's really going to show his ranking this year, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. It's not like I had him that high. I got him I went Dak, Gino, Sam. I put him ahead of Trevor, though. I love that. Aaron Rodgers, Bryce. I have Caleb all the way down here. I'm obviously way too low on him. I'll be willing to say that I was wrong on him. Because I actually like him as a prospect.
Looking at his career stats last year. Looking at his career stats, he started 13, 13, 12 for the Jets. We won't count that season with Carolina because we all know he played the first 3 weeks and then kind of just bounced around from there.
Yeah.
He threw for 2,800, 3,000, 2,200. His touchdown to interception ratio those 3 years were 17 to 15, 19 to 13, and 9 to 11. And then all of a sudden, he ends up in a McConnell offense, and he throws for 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. There's an outlier there, and it's not the bad stats.
But it's like Purdy's been in a Shanahan offense his whole career, but we don't downgrade him for that. Like, I don't get it.
If
Like
Purdy,
we've never seen, we put Purdy in the top 10. We've never seen him outside of Shanahan. So how can we say that we're going to discount Darnold for O'Connell?
because we've seen how bad Darnold's played in other systems. I think if all of Darnold's pieces got hurt last year, that team's not good.
But you could say that about any quarterback.
But Brock Purdy was still able to decipher games and play well.
They weren't there. That weren't very well deciphered. There's a reason they picked at number 11 or whatever. I mean, it's not like the 49ers didn't even make the playoffs.
Do we need to go through
It's not like he
spread?
carried this team to the promised land.
He played a lot better than Sam Darnold would have with the injuries he was dealt.
Well, we'll see this year. All right, guys, let's do since it's 259. Worst starter in the league. Jayme, who's your 32?
Tyler. Oh, 32. Yeah. Tyler Shuck. I think it is Shuck. I looked up the pronunciation of it. So,
Yeah, that's how Greg Cosell said it. Tyler, who's your 32?
Kenny Pickett.
My 32 is also Tyler Shuck. Jayme, final thoughts about our quarterback exercise. And the reason that we're doing this now is so we can reference it and look back on it during the year. And like I said, there could be some amazing victory laps and some amazing dunks. Like these guys could be postering on me if Sam Darnold's benched in week 3 with 8 interceptions, right? So that's the reason we do this now. Final thoughts on our quarterback show, Jayme. Is there anything I left out that you didn't really get to address?
no, I don't think so, man. That's pretty much real quickly because we didn't. Where do you guys have Penix at?
22.
I have 24. Spread?
I probably should have him higher. Do you have him ahead or behind of Bryce Young?
He is 2 spots behind Bryce Young for me.
1 spot behind. I have him Bryce Young at 23.
I'm almost thinking I should move him ahead of Bryce.
Yeah, you can't. Not yet.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, he's got the running ability too. Penix has played like 3 games, so I don't think you could put Penix ahead of Bryce.
Bryce did play well towards the end of the year. I like Dave Canales too. So,
Yeah. Tyler, final thoughts here before we enter this draft.
I think we were pretty locked in, like locked up on these rankings pretty much. I mean, we had a couple outliers like the Herbert at 5, T-Law at 13. But I mean,
all of mine.
It's a fun one. I mean, Spread wouldn't give us his list. He knows he's hiding some ones up there he didn't want to talk about.
No, I gave my list, but it was pretty close to yours, so it's just like.
Did you say where you had
what's
Love?
the difference between going Dak, Tyler, or right?
Where did you have Love? I don't remember where you. Where did you
I
have
had
Love?
him
Spread?
at 13.
13. Okay.
But like I said, before you get mad, I would have 9 through 13. They all have an 89 on Madden.
Yeah. No, I just assumed.
If you say move to 9, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not like, what?
Yeah.
So.
No, definitely.
The only reason I decided to put him like a little lower than the other guys on here is I'm still concerned with the interceptions from him.
I mean, he had 11 last year, but yeah. So
I
get you.
I mean, right
in this draft,
and that's my point, right? Let's say he gets that down to 7 or 6. Isn't that QB rankings or whatever? Like his QBR and all those stats going to just be so much better?
Yeah.
So
it's going to count this
clean up those interceptions a little bit. They're so equal in that range. He would just fly right up my list. Tyler, you want to count it down and we'll keep the conversation going?
Yep. Go ahead and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully I don't got to log back in. It doesn't look like I have to.
All right, let's see who's here.
And we have 4 out of 12, so.
4 out of 12. Love it.
Cool, we got a bit. I'll be right back. You guys keep it going.
All right. So, Tyler, you've been doing mostly Underdog too?
I've been doing, more on Underdog. The littler contest on DK outside of this one. Those qualifier ones are the ones I like playing. Get a chance of getting to that big contest.
Yeah. No, definitely. I want to start doing some more on DraftKings. I did the 6 max. I don't remember what it was. It was a few weeks ago. I did the 6 max on there, but I've got 35 so far on Underdog. But like you said, these things feel so fast that sometimes I procrastinate a bit. So I'm in like 8 slow drafts right now. So I could
That's
fill
what I
up
got to get more slow drafts.
Doodle.
That's what I should have did with the Dash Hound that opened? I believe it was
yeah. Just the other day, or a week ago. Yeah.
I pulled up MVP odds real quick to look at them after we talked about our quarterback rankings.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts 20-1 sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't taken that any MVP odds. I did already take my NFL Super Bowl futures. Last year I did hit on the Eagles. I took 5 of them this year, and last year I took 4. I got Buffalo and Baltimore, both at plus 800. And again, I did take this like 3 weeks ago. Then I got Green Bay at plus 2,500. And just for the record, I will always take Green Bay because I will not miss out on a chance of
at
my
25-1. I can't argue. I was trying to think of the price that I could be like shocked and argue with you, and I'd say it'd have to be below 11-1.
Yeah, it's like plus 1,500. I think that's even probably
1,500. I wouldn't even argue. If you did 10-1 or less, I'd be like, you're not going to get a price there, right?
Just wait till middle of the season or something. But then I took the 49ers.
Right, if Jordan Love goes out for a week or two, you're going to get an extra 80 cents.
100%. But then I got San Francisco plus 2,200, and then the Rams at plus 2,100.
I love the Rams.
Ooh, big NFC West guy, huh?
Dude, I like that, man. And the thing is, I love Arizona
beating up on the Seahawks, huh? And the Cardinals.
I think so. I do like Arizona. I don't love their defense this year, but I love Arizona's offense.
Really?
Specifically for fantasy drafts too.
Oh, we talked about this before because I'm so out on Marvin Harrison in chat. I know that we've just been all talking today, but I do see you guys in there. But I know that one guy in the chat, our guy Spunky, is really big on Marvin Harrison. And I think we talked before. You are too. Tell everybody why you're down on Marvin Harrison, because anyone who watches this show is probably going to be underweight if they actually listen to me. They probably don't. They're probably overweight. But assuming they were listening to me, let them know why maybe Marvin Harrison should be higher in my portfolio.
Yeah, I love this offense in general. I think they're going to play fast. I think they're going to be a little bit more efficient. I also just think it's a good buy low opportunity, right? After last year, he's going like in the first round or maybe early second, but I'm pretty sure it was like late first round by the end of the season. And right, the idea was he was a generational prospect coming in. He underperformed. I just want to bet on him still being as good of a receiver as maybe we all thought. And I think he's in a good environment to do that. And to be honest, I just don't see how guys, like T. Higgins go ahead of him personally.
It has to be just past performance, right? I mean, like how many people either won with T. Higgins or like me and got knocked out by T. Higgins in week 16 or whatever.
He is. But I mean,
the Broncos when Surtain was on Chase and I had Chase.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, this is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, we just now have multiple years of data on Higgins, right? He's had a couple good seasons and then 3 mediocre seasons. I think a lot of his numbers are going to regress too. Like his touchdown rate, I think doubled last year. And he struggled with injuries too. So for me, I just think there's way more upside in a guy like Marvin Harrison. I love Trey McBride too. I love that entire offense. Give me Kyler.
So do you think McBride's overpriced though?
No, I don't think so.
Second, low third? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think Bowers is overpriced? Because I love Brock Bowers. I kind of think he's going too high.
I don't love the fact that there's 2 Raiders going so high, I'll be honest.
Does that make sense to you? Like, where do we expect that offense to be? 16?
Yeah. And I mean, historically, Pete Carroll does not give guys a bunch of targets. Like, I think I saw someone post
he likes to split his running backs too, even when he had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. I don't know if he's we're gonna get 100+ targets again from Bowers. He's a generational prospect though too. So I love Bowers. I have a decent amount of him too. So I don't hate that call, but it is hard for me to go with guys like Bowers when I do like McBride and Kittle a little bit later.
But. All right, Jayme, jump on the screen. I'm gonna dial it back today, and I'll let you guys really take over. Who should we be targeting here?
Ooh, what pick are we?
Pick we are.
Pick 6. I mean, we might luck into Saquon right here.
Yeah, I mean, if Saquon's there, we go. If not, I like Gibbs.
Well, let's go Gibbs. We'll get some Gibbs.
Yeah, I don't think we have a Gibbs start yet, do we?
I think
We've
have
never been
one,
right in the
maybe.
middle like this.
I haven't been much in the middle either.
Spot.
Cool. All right, we're going to have to keep these conversations quick. Jayme, I'm going to pepper you with questions. One of my concerns for Marvin Harrison, and this is where not being able to scout myself and just relying on reading and using other people's data. I've seen stats that say his separation's terrible, and then I've seen stats that say his separation's above average. I don't know who to believe. You actually scout the film. You're not just using other people's info like I am. What have you seen? And so do you think it's more close that, hey, the guy's getting open and it's just not working with Kyler right now?
I think he's getting open. I just think they were off last year. Something definitely seemed off with that offense. I think he struggled more so early on, but he did pick up speed a little bit throughout the second half of the season, which I do think is more normal than people think for these rookie wide receivers.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, like I said, I just want to be able to bet on a guy like Marvin Harrison, that skill set, and an offense I think is going to play pretty fast. To kind of have a little positive regression and maybe get a few more touchdowns too. And I think there's going to be a pretty concentrated target share too. I do like Michael Wilson.
Our guy Spunky's right ahead of us. He always sends me starts with Ladd and Marvin, and I'm always concerned. What do you think of Ladd McConkey this year?
I like Ladd too. I like Ladd. I mean, I like the addition of Trey Harris, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to make McConkey not just be.
Did Keenan Allen haven't signed there yet? I've been waiting for that all summer.
Not yet.
He has not. He hasn't signed anywhere, yo.
Yeah, I thought for sure. I thought it was a no-brainer. He was going to LA.
So we are pick 19. I mean, if Brian Thomas, there's no chance Brian Thomas. There's no chance Brian Thomas falls, but I love
any of the wide
Thomas.
receivers. I'm fine with Thomas, London, McConkey, AJ Brown, Rashee Rice. If we wanted to double up on running back, it'd be JT for me.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
I don't want to double up on running back.
I like going wide receiver. I'm cool with McConkey or AJ Brown.
What are you thinking of? So two players that are controversial with the player takes as far as basketball content this summer have been Rashee Rice and Bucky Irving. I'm higher than the field on Rice, lower than the field on Irving. Where are you coming in on those two players, Jayme? Or here, make the pick and then go.
Do we want McConkey or Rice?
You can
I like
answer,
McConkey.
Jayme.
I like McConkey.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any McConkey. We'll go with this.
All right. Talk to me about those two players and maybe a quick reasoning why you went McConkey over Rice.
Okay, so I like Bucky. I'm pretty high on Bucky again this year. I think he has a chance to catch up a bunch of balls too this year. I think.
So do you think his ADP is correct?
I think so. I don't think there's I
don't think he's gonna have a bad year. I was just surprised he was so high.
I don't think there's a ton of value on it, but I do think it is probably right. As far as Rashee Rice, there's just a little bit more concerns. I think more likely than not, he's going to probably just hop right back into the role that he was in last year, right? Because Hollywood Brown being there for the full season, I don't think hurts him much at all, right? Rice is going to just catch balls across the middle of the field, and I think that is more likely to happen than not. I do think there is maybe just a little bit more concern, right, with the injury that he had, which he does look like he has bounced back from. He's looking good out there. There's still a suspension risk, which I do think probably doesn't happen this year. But there's still some non-zero risk factors there that just make me kind of lean McConkey. But I wouldn't have been opposed to Rice. I'm honestly neutral on Rice this year. I think he's probably going to where he is or where he's supposed to be. But McConkey, I like getting these year two wide receivers.
All right, Tyler, let's choose our next pick, and then I got more questions there for Jayme. What are you guys thinking? We talked about Harrison; he's on the board.
I love Chase Brown. I love Marvin Harrison, but I also do not mind if you want to go with one of the top quarterbacks of Allen or Lamar.
I'm down for some Marv.
Let's get it. Let's get our guy. Because I know Tyler is high on Marv too.
You know that Jackson Smith and Jigba has the great Sam Darnold throwing to him, though, right? And we just left him on the board.
Yeah, he also signed another wide receiver to run out of the slot for him, so they both have to share it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't mind JSN, but
yeah, I don't like the fit there with him and Cup, though. Don't you think that's kind of weird? Unless
it is a weird fit. It is a weird fit. I still think. I honestly don't know what. I think Cup will probably.
I think Cup will have a shitty year and go for 200 against the Rams and the Niners, right? The NFC West teams will still go off. So my next question for you, Jayme, and then we'll get back there. So I did what this draft did. I have Jacobs ahead of Irving, which most people don't, and Tyler's already clowned me a couple times though. But I got to
No, that was the Jacobs JT one. You tried to come at me with spread.
Yeah, but didn't you get me on Jacobs Irving too, or no?
Yeah, we never did that one. But I would take Bucky over Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So talk to me about what do you think about? I agree with this. I think Jacobs is better than Irving for this season. What do you think, Jayme?
I like Bucky. I just think historically, I know last year was an outlier, but historically with Matt LaFleur, his number one running back is not getting that much workload. And I just wonder how much that has to do with Jordan Love being hurt last year. They went very run heavy. And again, historically, he's more balanced of an offense. So I kind of expect the passing attack for Green Bay to be a little bit more alive. They also got a wide receiver and Matthew Golden they drafted. And Marshawn Lloyd was also hurt, right? So you're kind of running with Emmanuel Wilson last year. I think I still like Jacobs quite a bit. He's still going to get a good amount of workload, but I do think that I have some concerns about that going forward. If he's going to get,
you'd rather have Bucky Irving?
Yes, for sure.
Tyler, get us on the main screen, and then I'm going to ask you another question about this running back range.
Okay.
All right, who are you guys looking at?
Jameson Williams. Get the little stack going.
Yeah, I am Kittle, Metcalf, or Jameson. I mean,
we got Gibbs. We might as well get J-Mo.
Yeah, and I mean Jameson. His upside is that guy's a really good wide receiver. I mean,
you gotta love it when your quarterback's got an arm like that, right?
That's true, though.
Brock Purdy pea shooter. Jayme, let's talk about the way this is. What do you think about Chase Brown? And then how is Kyren Williams falling so far? To me, that's another one that I put ahead of Bucky Irving. What are your thoughts on Kyren Williams and Chase Brown both going where they are in the middle of the third round? I think Chase is actually priced right. I'm surprised on Kyren. What are your thoughts?
I love Chase Brown. I just don't think the Bengals did anything to make me nervous. I don't think Taj Brooks is anything to worry about. I don't think Zach Moss is anything to worry about. I think Chase Brown's going to play 85% of the snaps. I think he's going to get peppered with targets again too. It's another concentrated offense for as far as the target share goes. And then who was the other guy? Oh, Kyren Williams. I'm out on him. I was out on him last year.
Really? It seems like everybody is. I mean, 3.8 for the type of production he's given us the last couple of years.
His yards per carry is terrible. It's all touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. And they got what's his name? Hunter. Jarquez Hunter. Is that who is that?
Blake
right?
Corum's another year in.
Blake Corum's another guy.
Sean McVay loves to do this too.
I have concerns with him. Kenneth Walker just went, so we can't take your boy.
Sucks. I like drafting people who look older than me, Tyler. All right, who are we going for?
I like Pickens or Waddle. I also like Ridley, but I know that Tyler likes.
We already got 3 wide receivers. I don't mind getting Connor to pair with Harrison.
Okay, yeah.
Not Travion Henderson?
Maybe on the comeback.
In our chat, Tyler's like, we'll always say he wants Travion Henderson over all these backs.
We'll get to this range, and it's like we have the stack. Like this is to complete the stack, and spread's like, why are we picking this guy?
Right. Yeah, I do like Henderson too. But
Henderson on the board there, Tyler.
I see our guy Steve's in the chat. What's up, Steve? And I see our guy Felix Castro's in the chat. So we have to bring this up, spread. There's a rumor out there that Najee lost an eye.
I heard
what?
Yeah.
That's not good.
I heard that too, and that helps me because I am my hot take. Again, I don't even know if it's a hot take, but I think Omarion Hampton will finish as the best rookie running back out of the draft.
And the thing about it,
I was going to say him taking over the job's not a hot take, but that's a hot take.
They said he lost an eye, and no one's denied this yet.
Well, even someone who was it, Jordan Schultz or someone, a beat reporter, I think it was, like commented a heart underneath one of his Instagram posts or something. I mean, we're putting the tinfoil hats on here, but I mean that's what you got to do sometimes. So I think
if anyone would know, it's Felix. I mean, he's got his number. Felix.
You said it's fake news.
Oh, yeah, I think I'd agree.
Our guy Mike Robb said there are pictures out there from this week, and he has both eyes. He was at a kids' camp, so we have confirmed both eyes are still in his head.
Crazy the fact that we're even having this conversation.
I did hear about that yesterday for the first time, but and I never want to root for someone to actually like lose an eye, but I do have a lot of Omarion Hampton. I like him quite a bit.
Fair enough.
I think he's really good. I don't like the situation. Well, I mean, the situation he fell into is good, but I didn't like it because I had a lot of Najee shares. But
right.
We were drafting a lot of Najee in that.
we
Live
thought
the
for
draft.
sure
Yeah.
Hampton was going to be an RJ Harvey spot, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Which
Tyler,
kind
go
of
back
worked
to the
out, though.
other page. Let's figure this out right now.
Here, let me switch back over.
Yeah, I got time. I got to get my takes in here, guys. I got to hear Jayme throw down all my ideas. Who do you think we should go for in this range, Jayme?
I love RJ Harvey. But I mean, if Laporte is there, do we want to get that tight end if we're going to roll with that stack?
Yes.
That's kind of
There goes that idea.
I do like Harvey. I also like Swift. Harvey's gone. I like
I'm down for some
Swift.
Swift.
I think that's probably the
I'm
route
gonna
to
keep
go. No, you don't like Swift, huh?
Let's go Swift.
I mean, it's one of those things where we have like the ultimate fan. Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome, but the other two are like, I hate their highlights, but their fantasy production's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does DeAndre Swift do, right? Like, when have you been like, did you see that DeAndre Swift carry, right? I mean, he just hits the hole, right?
Yeah, but
like,
they
falls
didn't have a
forward,
running
like,
back
great
outside
job.
of the late pick, and so someone's got to run the ball here.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's why
I like
I
Swift.
just put my head down and didn't argue because I know you're right. It's so hard for me. Like,
It's not a sexy
looking
pick,
at the
right?
talent of some of the other running backs in this range,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's not a sexy pick, but they bolstered up the offensive line. They got Ben Johnson. I would expect Caleb to maybe take a second step here.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Jamal Williams get a bunch of touchdowns in a Ben Johnson offense?
Yeah, he led the
That's
league.
why everyone's drafting
Roshan
Roshan Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Swift could play that role as well. He's pretty much built for it in my mind. Even though he never does, right? They're like, the sure way to know a guy's going to get touchdowns is if he's behind DeAndre Swift.
Switch back over.
Yeah, switch back over. So, Tyler, as far as quarterback, what are we looking at? I know we want some Goff, but is there anyone else we should be targeting
Goff,
here?
want some Kyler.
How early are you drafting tight ends, Jayme? We haven't drafted a quarterback or a tight end yet. I know this is pretty standard, but where should we be targeting them, you think?
I mean, I really like McBride and Kittle, so I will take them around like late second for McBride and around that 4th to 5th range of Kittle. But then outside of that, it's just going to be dependent on where I want to go with my stacks. Like if I have a decent amount of Trevor Lawrence,
what do you think we should be looking for here?
Right now, where are we at?
3-3.
This is not the best. I don't love this area of the draft, to be honest. I mean, I don't mind Pacheco, but I honestly I don't really love any of these guys. What
so
do you guys
funny?
have
Out of everyone, I wanted your guy, Matthew Golden.
Oh, I don't even see him. Oh, he's down there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't see him on the
Reed instead. I think you already clicked it. Should we have taken Reed instead? Do you think, Jayme?
No, I like Jaden Reed. I like Matthew Golden. The writing's on the wall with this Packers team. They haven't drafted a wide receiver in the first round for 23 years. Like they understand. The Packers led the league in drops last year. They got the Christian Watson replacement. Like I said, I think the writing is on the wall, and I think he's a perfect fit for best ball formats because I think he's gonna have spike weeks. He's just the way.
I'm glad we had this conversation because I've been all in on Jaden Reed, and you just convinced me to even out my exposure.
Yeah,
I've been on here making the point that I thought that Jaden should have an higher ADP just because of number one, he's proved it, and number two, he's got the connection with Love, and we talked about it earlier, right? With Harrison's season, would it be surprising if like Golden had 2 30-point weeks, but the rest of them are in the 8 to 14 range or something, right?
No, and I do think that I like Reed also. I have more Golden, but I do have a decent amount of Reed also. This guy, I think it's also easy to stack Jordan Love in these formats. But
I was gonna say with where we've gone, I think we've almost if we were on a turn like we usually are, Tyler, I would try and do those Lovecraft deals.
Yeah.
HP Lovecraft. Yeah.
I'm still down to try and get the Love in the craft.
It's just going to be hard. When you're on the turn, it's so easy because
we're going to have to reach for one of them, but I'm down to reach.
I mean, if Jaden Reed's still on the board, I say we go Reed then Love.
Yeah, I mean, or we take
and then we're NFC North.
Or we take Kyler and just guarantee one of the quarterbacks.
I like the Kyler.
So. I hate Kyler just because I think he's going to suck in the playoffs.
I'm not drafting Jordan Love for at the end of the season.
Yeah, wait till that week 17 shootout between Baltimore happens, right?
Right? Yeah, wonderful, wonderful week 17. Right? You got to hope they clinch 2 weeks early. Even then, Harbaugh would play his guys, so it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. Well, the good
They
thing
could
is
be
though,
like 16-0.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because that's one too where he could get pushed. I like Kyler. I like Kyler here.
Oh my gosh, I'm definitely letting you guys run this draft.
You don't like Kyler in that
Kyler
offense?
share of the year.
We're getting the last running
me.
quarterback in what round?
Exactly.
8 or 9?
Yeah. We're getting guys
Yeah,
that
that's
has
your
actually
size, Tyler.
Yeah,
The
and
what?
then for the first
You like
12
dunk on
weeks
him.
of the
You're like
season, he's
looking
gonna
down
lead
on
us.
him. What's that?
And for the first 12 weeks of the season, he's going to lead us.
We left top 10 quarterback Brock Purdy on the board, Tyler. What are we doing?
Yeah, and you see how long he lasted on the board, spread 1 pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's plan our
but,
next one. I'll check on the chat real quick, Tyler, but get over there and let figure out where we're going next year because we got to figure this stuff out.
Here, you really want to work him up, Jamie?
Let's do it.
God. Mark
We're
Andrews.
drafting Mark Andrews.
No. What
Oh, big Mark.
And we
That
talked
is
about
funny.
this before, Jamie, and you actually are on board with it, right? You think it's an okay pick, right?
I don't mind. I do prefer likely a little bit later, personally. But I don't. I
We
don't
should
hate
just
Mark
grab golf
Andrews
right
pick.
now, Tyler, and just not even worry about QB.
They
Yeah,
have the
if
same bye
golf.
weeks.
Well, then we could just make sure we get one
Golf,
other. Like
golf's gone anyway.
Okay, cool. Because
That's
that one's
fine.
going to be a tough decision.
I want one of
We're,
the receivers here.
Yeah.
If you don't grab Andrews, Tyler, I want Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, I was
Or
just
we can grab
messing with you
Najee
about
so
Andrews,
Felix
but we're
doesn't
not
give us a
drafting
thumbs
Andrews.
down on the video.
We're drafting either Higgins, Pittman, Ayuk, one of the wide receivers. Not Keon
Coleman, though.
No.
What do you think of him, Jamie? I'm out on him.
I would just prefer probably Josh Palmer later, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I mean, Ayuk is just one because you know what really matters is late in the season. But I get worried he's going to miss like several weeks and then he'll come back for several weeks and just be non-existent. But how you win these things, right, is the end of the year. But I don't mind Pittman.
Jaden Higgins could be really good at the end of the year, too, though, when him and Stroud.
Yeah,
there you go. He just got picked, so
Mark
Pittman?
Andrews it is, then.
I'd rather have Pittman. We only have 3 wide receivers.
That's fine. I do not want Mark Andrews, so I was just being nice.
Yeah, I'm cool with Pittman. I think the fun thing about Pittman. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'd rather have Pittman over Ayuk because they're both injury prone, but Pittman's was supposedly fixed. We don't know if Ayuk's knee is good.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And also,
there's a lot of
14 targets a game when he plays.
Yeah, and I also think too, like that does open up for something if we want to get that third quarterback way later. If you know something happens, we can't get a couple other guys. Like who do you guys like more, Richardson or Daniel Jones? I'm drafting more Daniel Jones just because
I'm not even drafting Richardson.
I think Daniel Jones plays more, but if my quarterback room in front of him is like elite, I'm gonna take the shot that Richardson gets it because
I mean,
if I'm drafting Daniel Jones with an elite quarterback room, Daniel Jones is never gonna play as my starter. But if I draft Anthony Richardson and he spikes a couple weeks, he could beat those guys out. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no
doubt. And I do think there's some upside with Daniel Jones. I mean, we're only a couple years removed from he had that good fantasy season with Brian Daboll. He now gets played in a Shane Steichen offense. I mean, some decent weapons. They did get Tyler.
Crappy division too. We're way better division for fantasy.
Going to be playing a lot of games indoors. Yeah,
you don't have to play the Eagles anymore.
Yeah. I think there's some upside there. Where's J Love at in here? I don't know. I'm not super familiar with DraftKings ADP as much. It's
124.
Where are we?
So if you want to take
I say we get him. I don't think we risk it. I say we take him now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Even though we are leaving Fanspeak favorite Cam Scattaboo on the board.
With pick 114 in this best ball draft, Spunky's going to draft Jordan Love.
Oh, that would be brutal.
Does Spunky have any? He correlates pretty good. Nope, he left him. Oh, no, he's on the clock.
I mean, if not, we could also take Stroud too, but I'd rather.
You can take Scatterbo.
You think he is?
We're Scatterbo people here. No way. Did you see who he picked?
Rashid Shaheed.
What do you think of that pick?
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't love after the injury, and I just don't love the situation there in general. But I mean, he could have a couple spike weeks.
In this round, right? He's one of the few guys that could actually be like, I'm trying. What do you think his ceiling is?
I mean, I don't probably not much in that offense unless Chris Olave gets hurt again. But
he's a deep
but as far as
I think it's almost better if Olave stays healthy because otherwise he'll get all the attention. He wants to be the number 2. He's better as T. Higgins, right?
I think we started a quarterback run in this draft.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us trendsetters.
Yeah. I mean, this is generally where I like to go. Like that 9 through 11, 9 through 12 rounds generally is where I'm starting to hammer some of those QBs.
Jayme, talk to me about Jordan Love's final 3 weeks because I don't trust Kyler in the playoffs. Is Jordan Love, who does he got for us in 15, 16, and 17? Do you know?
I got the schedule here. It's at
17
Denver,
Baltimore.
at Chicago, and Baltimore. Sorry, Jayme. I just had it up on the screen.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, so honestly, it's not the greatest.
That's not good.
No, it's not the greatest. Denver is in Denver, so could be pretty chilly. Chicago, is that one in Chicago or in Green Bay?
At Chicago.
Yeah, and then Baltimore. I mean, the Baltimore one I think could be fun.
13.
Yeah. The Baltimore one, if they get to week 17, I think could be fun. Because how
I would have liked this better as a marathon team.
Well, we can get another guy too later potentially. Are we looking at our
we're taking
Kraft mac cheese? Yeah, I like that.
I mean, at that point, we kind of committed, right?
I do like that.
This team's pretty good, even though I let you guys run it.
Team's
good job, guys.
Well, I'm just glad we're going with a Jordan Love stack here. I mean, this just feels so right. To
be fair, Jayme, I think that Jordan Love and CJ Stroud are the 2 most undervalued players on this ADP. I think I messaged you right when it came out. Like, why are these guys so low?
Yeah, and honestly,
I don't care that he runs. Like, Jordan Love should not be ahead of Justin Fields. Like, you got to be kidding me. The fact that you run all like that too also makes you more injury prone. Like, no.
Yeah. I also would not be shocked to see if Love does run a little bit more. I don't think he's going to be like Justin Fields or Lamar, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Love run a little bit more this year.
And let's see Bo Nix against that different schedule. What is it? A second place schedule now? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little lower on Nix. I do like Drake May in that area. I've gotten some Caleb. I get some JJ McCarthy too. A lot of Trevor Lawrence. But Love is so easy to stack, right? Because you can get the Golden or Reed, and then from there, right?
And then you get Kraft and you're set. Yeah.
Or even get Dobbs later.
And we can even get a couple other at the end. We're going to be able to throw Wicks in there if we want.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy to stack for sure. And I do think they're going to pass more.
Who's on the board here at 133?
No pun intended, but I love Loveland, man. I think he has a lot of upside. Traditionally, anyways, Ben Johnson runs a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Doesn't it feel like that Laporta rookie season?
I mean, go look at the last 2 seasons. There's been a rookie we're up.
I mean, we're talking about
he's got the same bias.
Either him or Ray Davis, I would think.
He's got the same bias Kraft.
Yeah, I'm okay with Ray Davis. I know you guys are like Ray Davis.
Ray Davis
too.
or Jayden
like
Blue.
Ray Davis.
I prefer Ray Davis, but I'm okay either one.
Only because I think they're up. Well, maybe not. How high do you think Dallas's offense will be this year, Jayme? Obviously, they're coming off an off year. Well, maybe they're all undervalued.
I do like their offense, but like I said, and this is, I know, a gross hot take, but one of my highest drafted players in general, highest drafted running back right now is Javonte Williams. And I don't like the click. I just think from a projection standpoint, it's hard for me not to get him like leading this backfield in carries. I know he has not been very good. He did get injured, like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So maybe he'll be fully back to himself in what I do consider a pretty decent offense. He's shown he can catch 50-plus balls out of the backfield too. So he is a guy that I like a bit. Drafting, I hate to say it, but I also get the Jayden Blue plays too. So where are we at here? How many wide receivers do we have, Tyler? 5. And how many running backs? 4?
4. Okay. We're at 2, 4, 5, 1.
Okay, 2, 4, 5, 1. I mean, do we want to tie it in here, or Tyler Algier, I guess, is a decent one, but I don't
hate Beck.
Yeah,
I'd be down for Beck. I'd be down for Leggett.
I like
Sam
either one of
Darnold's
those
on the
two.
board, guys.
Shut up. I'm cool with Beck. Yeah.
What do you think of Jeff Beck overall, Jayme? I know that you got a good eye for talent here. Obviously, us Raiders fans were excited to get him. What do you think? I'll tell you what, I kind of like the rookie we've got after him a little more, but he might not be ready this year.
Yeah, I like Beck, dude. I think I've been getting a decent amount of him too. Also because if I do struggle with stacks, easy to get a guy like him, and then go and get Geno later, and then even a Thornton potentially later as well.
Yeah.
I am a little. I just, like I said, I don't know as far as like his target share goes, because he's going to be going with Jacoby and Brock. But I do think there's going to be some spike weeks here. And at this point, that's kind of where we're going for the upside, going for those spike week guys. So I'm cool with Beck, man.
Yeah, I'll be interested. It's almost like the Cup JSN situation, though, right? Where he's brought in and he kind of does the same thing as Jacoby Myers, which is why my darling and Tyler, if we want him, we got to get him soon. Remember, he's been going sooner. Is Thornton, the second pick? The guy's like the guy's measurables looks like a first round pick, right? So I just got to see like how is this? How did he fall so far in the draft? I'm just wondering.
See where his ADP's at now.
Who did you say?
He keeps moving up every time.
190.
Oh, Thornton, yeah. I've heard some good buzz. I like Pat Bryant.
I love we take a lot of Pat Bryant. Yeah, this is a big Pat Bryant show. My worry about Thornton is that we draft him this year and he busts out next year, right? Maybe he's a year away. I mean, with those measurables and the stats, you're just like, how could that be?
Right?
How could you be this tall, run this fast, and you don't have any catches at the college level? That's weird.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Wright in this range.
Me too. I wasn't in on him as much as I am now with the whole movement of their roster, but like A-Chain can't do everything. Someone else has got to get in there.
I'm with. I mean, at this point, guys, we're drafting for pure upside. So we're drafting of what happens if something happens to A-Chan. What do we think is going to happen? Right? They don't have Mostert
next year, right?
100%.
RB7 if A-Chain goes down. Yeah.
So Wright.
Let's do that. Tyler.
I'm cool with Wright.
It was also like Dowdle for me.
Okay, I like Dowdle too. I do like Algier just because it's the same type of thing. If something happens to Bijan,
right? Yeah, and Algier's been solid. And in fact, Algier can actually spike for you, like on weeks that maybe your studs kind of have off weeks. Algier can get there just with some touchdowns or some. I mean, Bijan's not like Todd Gurley, on LA. Like they take him out sometimes.
Yeah.
So Algier does get some red zone runs sometimes.
Yeah, I do love the Jalen Wright pick. Like I'm very high on A-Chan this year. I think that he's going to absolutely smash. But if something does happen to A-Chan, like they don't have Jeff Wilson, they don't have Mostert anymore. Like it's going to be the Jalen Wright show. A kid that I think has some serious pop too. So,
my guy Braylon Allen just went off the board. I make the same argument for him. I think we need to address tight end. Everything else, I love where we're at.
We're definitely a little
tight end or QB3 is what I think we should be going for here, unless there's someone you absolutely love on the board that you.
I'd say Hunter Henry if he makes it this next pick.
I think Hunter Henry is probably where it's at. I mean, what you got? K-Dot and this,
Hunter Henry, K-Dot, and Chig, Waller, Muth. I'd take Henry over all of them.
100%. Yep.
Was it the Darren Waller? No, we talked about that last week. What was the stupid news we said we were going to talk about, Tyler? This is driving me crazy.
I think you're a week behind, Spray. It was the Darren Waller stuff. Nothing happened this week in the NFL.
The whole Jonnu thing, maybe. That's probably it.
It was kind of a crazy week for me, so I'm not surprised. Oh, crap. I got to go turn my AC on because it gets more expensive at 4 p.m. out here. You believe they do that?
That's such a weird thing.
That is wild.
My AC costs this much between these hours, but these hours, they up the price because...
Right.
California.
I know. I mean, when I lived up in like San Francisco, man, we didn't even have AC up in the apartment I lived at. So I don't know nothing about that.
He's like, AC, what is that?
Yeah, it's so crazy in San Francisco. It gets hot like 2 times a year and no one has AC and like nobody knows what to do. Like the beaches are just crowded and like.
Did you ever see those posts online where it'll be like England's getting a heat wave and it's like 70 degrees Fahrenheit and it's like.
Yes.
bro.
No, when I went there, Tyler, there's like dudes like sunbathing. It's like 79 degrees outside. I'm like wearing like a hoodie. I'm like, no way.
It's unbelievable.
All right. What it's round 16 we're about to be on, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Robb says Darren Waller, who
This
didn't
is
play
where
at
it's
all
good
last
to have
season
you
and
on,
hasn't
Jayme.
been
I
good in
think
years,
round
going to
19
tight
or
end
20 are
25
fun.
now shows that America is in an intellectual decline, correct?
Here, I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, Darren Waller, who didn't play all last season and hasn't been good in years, is going at tight end 25. Now shows that America is in an intellectual decline. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that show that, Mike Robb.
I have no
be.
interest in Darren Waller either. Yeah, no
This guy
shot.
on
Bro,
the
I'll
Eagles.
have 0%.
Yeah, no shot.
Tyler, go to the board.
Anthony
Let's
Richardson.
figure out where we're going next. As Darren Waller goes off the board.
There goes our boy
Right.
Dante Thornton.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to get him but I think we need to address tight end, and we already had bench, and the likelihood of two of our rookies on the Raiders breaking out is pretty low. So I think that when you choose one, because we didn't have Geno.
Are we going to want to? I'm cool with Daniel Jones too. Are we going to want to correlate? Like our Jordan Love stack with Week 17. I'm just curious how big are you guys into that of getting that like Week 17 correlation?
We kind of just use it as a tiebreaker, but I think we grab Daniel Jones regardless of.
Yeah, let's get Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Just
we've been doing that, but kind of only as a tiebreaker, Jamie. Like if we're arguing,
And
then
I
Tyler
think
will
it's
be like, Indy plays the Raiders Week 17, and I'll be like, okay,
I think it's a little late to be doing that. Like, we have a lot of Green Bay, but like Hopkins and Justice Hill could easily do nothing in Week 17.
I agree.
To where like that game
I'm not
could be
too worried
40,
about it.
but that game could be 45-40. You get the shootout you want, and you're like, I got the correlation, I got the stack, and all the offense runs through Derrick Henry, Rashad Bateman, and likely on one side, and you get all the points on the other side, but you don't win.
I'd be interested and actually quantify it. But how much does being in a shootout matters, right? If I have two good offenses, like what's the likelihood that they just each go for 40 on their own rather than, it's in the game script? Like, what would you think about that, Jamie? Like, how much would you say game script matters in those Week 17 matchups? Like would I really want to grab? I'm trying to think of a good example. But some teams that have great Week 17 matchups that I don't think are going to be good teams overall, like I think the Raiders, right? They have a great Week 17 matchup, right? We're in the dome against someone.
Raiders,
but I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know
home
if that's
for
a
the
team I want
Giants.
that much exposure to it. What do you think, Jamie? How much are you doing it?
Like I said, mostly it's a tiebreaker. But I do try to do it a little bit. It kind of depends on the situation and the teams. I do think there are teams that could get pushed a little bit more. And then, if like, for instance, like Minnesota versus Green Bay early on last year, like that was Love's best game of the season, right? They got down by 4 touchdowns in like the first half. And then Love ended up throwing like 4 touchdowns in the second half for like almost 400 yards. And so I think situations like that.
And I think I had laid it against you in that game. And then I'm like, how am I sweating this?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's not it depends on the situation. And like I said, mostly a tiebreaker. If I'm high on a guy, I'm not going to not take him because, someone else is correlated. And I'm also like, for this one, like you guys said, DeAndre Hopkins, like really, I don't know. He can, not even be on the team at that point. Who knows? Yeah,
he was pretty washed last year. It's so crazy how can someone would be so good and then Marshawn Lloyd if he's there, right? I mean, we don't.
I was just about to say I like Marshawn Lloyd.
It's Lloyd, or if not, we're going to take Jalen Noel. Pardon?
Him or Freiermuth.
Yeah, we can take Freiermuth too. Let's grab Lloyd though, just because of the Green Bay stack.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. People in Green Bay really like this guy. I mean, he is fast as hell. He was fast in USC. I
had so much of him last year.
I know. And honestly, in some drafts too, if I don't get Marshawn Lloyd, I will take like Emmanuel Wilson too, like the very last pick. Just because you just never know. Marshawn Lloyd could get hurt again. He's a guy who struggled with injuries. And the next thing you know, Emmanuel Wilson is, the RB2. Maybe, Jacobs gets hurt or, there's a bunch of different possible range of outcomes here. But I do like Marshawn Lloyd. I think since we already went with love in them. So we have
Yeah,
what?
I mean, we're committed to Green Bay here, so and we didn't grab Jacobs. So if we had Jacobs, I wouldn't have done it though.
Oh no, definitely not.
Let's talk about some other late round darts on the screen right now. Tyler, let's go back to the screen.
They put out a report on a Najee thing.
What
did they?
Like Ian Rappaport put this out. He said a statement from agent Doug Hendrickson. Najee Harris was present at a 4th of July event where a fireworks mishap resulted in injuries to several attendees. Najee sustained a superficial eye injury during the incident, but is fully expected to be ready for the upcoming NFL season. So he did get hit in the eye with something.
Interesting.
Jayme, who do you like on this screen the most right now? Juwan Johnson's a cool shot at number 3. I love is Brashard Smith, right? I like him. It's just the same idea with the running back. Johnson's not a bad pick either. Who do you like that's on the screen right now? I don't even mind Raheem Mostert because I think he's going to get some of the Jamal Williams style vulture work.
Yeah, I think I like Corum probably here as far as like the running backs. Jatavian Sanders.
Should we be
Ferguson.
going for a tight end though, or do you think it matters?
We probably should have 2 more picks left.
We should get one more tight end.
We definitely get one more tight end.
All right, who do you like on the tight end board right now? Give them every tight end on the board, Tyler.
So what we got? Theo, Taysom, Terrence Ferguson. Probably Jatavian Sanders or maybe Terrence Ferguson.
You don't want Noah Gray, huh?
I mean, I guess that's not bad.
I almost
we
got like an old ass tight end ahead of him. Like the chances, we talk about if so and so gets hurt, like chances Kelsey gets hurt kind of high. Yeah, let's do that.
With Noah Gray too.
Cool. And then I didn't get to do my joke, but I mean, Elijah Arroyo does have the elite Sam Darnold thrown to him. That was a tough one to leave on the board.
And I think our last pick should be either running back or do we have 2 more or 1 more?
Just pick. No, we only have 1 pick left. I think we should just pick whoever we want.
No, we have 2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Okay.
Oh, okay, nice.
For pick 20,
we're gonna do like one
Jamie,
running back,
you can pick whoever you want. I don't care if it's a 4th quarterback. We can do it ever. Like
I think we should go running back, wide receiver.
I like running back, wide receiver. I like
or wide receiver, running back, whichever one we feel better taking the guy earlier. We could get Wicks. He can get wide open and not catch the ball.
Yeah. I mean, Wicks, I definitely don't hate. I mean, if we have Love, I don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, we almost like walked ourselves into it by getting Love. I also like Royals.
You like Royals, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of like all these people as dart throws. I like Royals. I'm pointing like you guys can see. I like Tesla or whatever his name is. I like Restrepo.
Yeah.
If we would have had Goff, I would have said, hey, Khalif Raymond, I don't even care. Tutu Outlaw might give you
that guy just drafted somebody who was driving 100 miles an hour with a gun on him.
I saw that. Yep.
That's
what.
See, that
what do you guys think of Elijah Moore? I don't love him. I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts. In Buffalo.
I don't like him, but I like Wicks here just because of our
I'm
team.
okay with
I had
Wicks.
a buddy ask me that same question, and my answer to it was, where does he play in Buffalo's offense?
I know.
They're gonna just think about the way they played offense last year. They're gonna put Keon Coleman on one side, Josh Palmer's gonna go on the other side, and Khalif Shakir is gonna be in the slot. Curtis Samuel's a better football player than Elijah Moore in my eyes.
Curtis Samuel,
and he does all the same stuff. Elijah Moore
but they didn't
barely get on the
good
field.
Chemistry last year. He might just be done.
I just think that
my worry, right? And Tyler doesn't believe in this, Jayme, is the Kincaid breakout year. I think Kincaid bounces back this year. I think he's going to be drafted in the 50s or 60s next year on the ADP.
I was high on him last year. I got burnt. I mean, it's definitely still possible. I'm not super optimistic about it. I just think it's an offense that's gonna, probably just not have a legit like wide receiver one. You know what I mean? As far as like fantasy goes, or a tight one. I just think a bunch of guys might have some spike weeks, and I mean the talent for Kincaid is definitely there, and I was hoping for it last year. We just didn't get it, but I mean, as far as running backs here, not much.
I'll take that 2 of the 3 Chicago guys.
If we're doing it now, we got to take Mostert, dude. He's going to get red zone carries.
Are you sure? I don't know, man.
Are you really sure about that?
Is he just straight washed, man? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He gets me a little nervous.
Well, good, he's gone, so we don't have to talk spread out of that one.
All right, then. Okay, so for the board now, I'd take Mane. You guys already know. I'm going to take either the two rookies. I'm going to take either Montague, or however you say his name, or Krosky Merritt. Or
Taj Brooks, too. He's also a rookie.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon. Boy, there's plenty of guys I love. All the guys I was trying to get you to take in round 13 in the pre-draft, Tyler. Tyler was so sick of me trying to draft Ollie Gordon. And then he ends up in this terrible situation behind A-Chain and Wright. What a terrible beat.
Yeah, we can take your favorite right here, spread right below Ollie Gordon, Jaleel McLaughlin.
Who is that? I've never heard of it. Can you tell me about that player?
That was
for those
the
who
best
aren't watching
year.
on the screen. It was Jaleel McLaughlin, who I had
I see
50% of last year. That
I had a decent amount too.
Absolutely.
Every time we got on spreads, like we got to draft Jaleel McLaughlin. I'm like, why are we drafting these guys? He's like, he's going to be good. I'm like,
To be fair, I wasn't the only one. He went from like 180.
I know that was the thing. Was like there was multiple people screaming for this. I'm like, where is this?
Everybody was on it. The idea was that Javonte was washed, and that all right, go. You guys go ahead. Just make it a rookie, please.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, cool. I don't want to talk about McLaughlin anymore. Let's look at the teams, Tyler.
Let's look at the teams real quick. Get this through, and then I got to get out of here. So, which team you want to go through first?
Quick. Anyone else is in the chat? Drop your name. I see Spunky in here. Let's start with our guy Spunky. He had talked about doing a 0 RB build before. He kind of went pretty close here with the 6 rounds. Jayme, since you're our guest and Spunky knows all our thoughts, what are your thoughts on this team right after us at 1-7, starting Neighbors, Bauer, and Lamar?
I like it. I like all 3 of those guys. I like getting Tet too next. Zay for the correlation. I love RJ Harvey. So I think he's a guy who has much more upside than Dobbins. I don't mind a Dobbins pick too, but I think RJ Harvey fits the profile of a Sean Payton offense for sure. Pacheco, I think that's a good, like a 0 RB pick.
I know you guys love the next 3 picks. I'm not high on them. Well, I don't know if you guys like Shaheed, but
I like Mooney. Andrews, I don't hate the pick, but obviously it's correlated to Lamar, so I get it. I do prefer Likely a little bit more, but I don't hate it. Shaheed, I'm not super high on, but a guy who could probably have some spike weeks. And we never really know with Shuck, who knows what happens there. Ramondre White, it's going to be, they're not like sexy picks, right? But I could see Ramondre still, having a good chunk of that workload there.
Especially if Travion struggles to adjust and isn't like the ultimate
it could be
back like I think he is.
He could be later on down the year. Ward, I like Ward. Dobbs, it's a good pick there. I like the Dowdle pick. I like the Shipley pick. I honestly like his running backs for that since he waited so long on them.
The way he did it came in good, huh?
I like those. There's a lot of upside, I think, with a lot of the guys he got, like Rico, Shipley, a lot of upside.
It just goes to show how much reps matter because Spunky's in here on every stream. He's in with our other cohorts, Meg, Andrew, Justin, Steve, drafting with them. I turn on other streams. He's in there. And he's sending me starts on himself where he's not even streaming. So you can see how the reps have really made him a strong drafter. I have a question for you, Jayme, and then we're going to move on to our team unless someone jumps something in the chat. Cam Ward, how many rushing yards this year? Like 800? Is that too high?
No, let me see.
I'd slam the under on that.
I literally have my.
What do you guys think?
I don't think he's much of a runner. Here. I could be wrong on that, but what I remember from his college tape, he wasn't much of a runner.
I thought he was super fast.
What did you say? How many did you say?
800.
Yeah, I have 358 rushing yards for Cam Ward.
Wow, so am I just terrible player evaluation? I thought he was going to be like a
2.8.
800 for a rookie is like Lamar.
Are there player props out yet? We could just see what like Vegas has for that, but I don't have any of that.
What did Jaden get last year, Tyler? Can you pull that up? And then I think
he had somewhere around that. It was like 800.
Okay, then
I'll pull it up though. Just
that number was stupid. I apologize.
That's all right.
No, that's okay.
I was just trying to throw numbers off the top of my head. I guess I still haven't woken up from that nap. throw numbers off the top of my head, just because I think for Cam Ward to be good, we know that the passing is not going to be consistent.
Yeah.
In my mind. I mean, maybe
Jaden Daniels ran the ball 148 times for 891 yards.
Yeah, so I should have made it like 400 or 500 then. Do you think it'll be half as good as Jayme Daniels?
I think it's even lower because Caleb's is set at 400.5, and Caleb's more of a runner than Cam Ward.
Okay. Well, see, I must have just Jayme, final thoughts. What's Shedeur Sanders going to do this year?
Ride the pine.
You don't think he even gets in the game?
I'm sure he will at some point. I'm not super optimistic.
Over under 7.5 starts.
Under.
What do you think, Tyler? I think I'm going over. I think he's taking over by week 5.
I think over because I don't think Flacco starts a game. I think Flacco's there as just like a veteran to.
You don't think he starts a game?
Guys. I don't think he plays. I think he's there as like the old guy in the room to like mentor the young guys. And the only way he plays is if they have like 10 wins going into week 14 and the quarterback room looks like it's about to piss down their leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's
which is what I was thinking too. They're keeping him there, and if things are going well, they're like, okay, any of our guys,
just for instance, say Gabriel or Shedeur goes in there, they look good, they're winning games, they look like a wild card team, and all of a sudden the rookie has jitters, and it's like, we're gonna lose his playoff spot. Put the vet back in, see if we can strike some of that magic from 2 years ago, keep the playoff spot, get a little bit of experience for the guy, and then go from there.
So that's exactly what I thought was going to happen last year. Richardson gets benched because he taps out of the game. I'm tweeting. If you guys were following me, I'm acting like I'm a genius, right? Albert Einstein gifs with my face superimposed on it. And then Flacco has like 2 good weeks and just goes being terrible.
Yeah. And Mike Robb in the chat says, dude, Flacco is playing most of the season. That's the only way the vets don't revolt. I don't know if you've seen, but the vets love Shedeur Sanders.
I think everybody likes Shedeur except for general managers.
Yeah.
I personally would be pretty shocked if Flacco doesn't start the year. I think the most likely outcome is maybe he starts the first 2 or 3 games, and then if things go south, and then they go back to the rookies. I think they probably
talked to Tyler too much.
Early.
I think it's gonna be Pickett too.
I think if I had to put odds on who's their starter week 1, I'd have Pickett at like plus 120.
I would say they have to be all plus
I'd have
Flacco
at like 250.
Oh,
I'd have Shedeur at like 275, and Gabriel would be like 5-1.
So you think Gabriel, who they drafted ahead of Shedeur, they would start Shedeur over Gabriel?
I think Gabriel ahead of him? I think Desmond Ridder somehow swindled the NFL and changed his name to Dylan Gabriel and got redrafted.
I don't think Dylan Gabriel is good too, but I mean, I feel like with a team drafted a player,
I think they were just trying to get the owner to not force the whole thing on all the pods I listened to. They say that they were trying to get the owner to not force them, and then by round 5, they were just like,
yeah,
like he's gonna fire us all if we don't do it. Like we have to.
Yeah, it's we'll see. Either way, they all suck, but. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jayme, I'm so happy today, man. You really gave me it was better than a cup of coffee. Perk me up. Have you on the show. Tout Jordan Love, which didn't surprise me. Trevor Lawrence. I knew you were high on him, but that was really high, so that was a shock too. But hey, we got to come in with the hot takes, and of course, you and Tyler with the wildly different Herbert takes, and I'm sitting there right in the middle of your
right in the middle.
So,
which is probably
that was fun. I saved the document. I saved last year's too. So I got to find the 2023 one. They had Jordan.
I wasn't
Love,
a part of that one
or whatever. What's up?
I wasn't a part of the 2023 one. To ream you back.
You know what I think I did too? I think I went over my 2023 one. I don't know if I saved it.
Yeah, I wasn't.
This year I made sure to copy it. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Any final words before I get us out of here from you, Tyler?
No, that's pretty much it for me. Good show.
All right, Jayme, we're going to bring you on again, but before then, let everyone know where they can find all the good work that you're doing.
Yeah, so I got a couple things coming up for this football season. I'm in the process of building a website that's going to be just Packers related, YouTube channel going to be Packers related, a bunch of cool data and some matchup articles, things like that. That's going to be so if you're nerdy like me and you like the Packers, you can hop in and check that out, and I'll have more news on that here probably in, I'd say, next month sometime. But outside of that, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. This was good fun. This is much better than talking NBA for an hour and a half, which I love NBA, but nothing hits like NFL, man. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Let me know anytime you need another voice, and I can come and tout some love and Trevor Lawrence for everyone. So.
Hey man, I mean, we couldn't have planned any better. We got Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft. You know, if you have a Packers fan on, that's a pretty good draft to have. And so what we'll do is we're going to stay in contact, and I'll reach out to you. And the second that new site and the new project goes live, we're going to make sure to get you on. Of course, We're going to talk football. Of course, we're going to disagree about a lot of things. But at the end, of course, we're going to let all the people know where to find your good work, especially the people who are Green Bay Packers fans. And Jayme, we've talked about this before, doing individual teamwork, and then you're also going for a team that has a nationwide fan base. One of my best buddies who grew up in Sacramento. It's not like he moved from Wisconsin. Huge Packers fan, right? Probably same reasons you are, like Favre.
Yep.
Like, why would you not root for that guy, right? So
right.
You're like 5 years old, you're choosing a team. I want that guy, right? You know, haters. So appreciate having you on. This is a lot of fun. And we're going to do it again soon. Thanks for everybody in the chat. You know that we're usually real good with getting your guys on the screen, but since we had 3 people today, a little more chitter chatter, but we do appreciate, and I did see everything you guys wrote. Appreciate that. We'll be back next week. We're going to Tuesday next week, but then we keep an eye on it, because if Jayme comes back on, we'll be flexible. We might go a little later in the week. Fanspeak.com, best ball subscription now live, just $34.99 for the entire year. That gets you rankings, access to certain members-only shows. You're going to get access to the weekly articles. Meg laughs because I sent her messages about them like 7 minutes after the email hits me. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. It's a one-time cost, $34.99. You're definitely worth your ROI. It's less than 2 Best Ball Mania entries. So go ahead, take advantage of that. We are Fanspeak. Thanks for joining us.